Good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming today. Downtown Harrisburg is a place where friends gather, families celebrate, and visitors experience our outstanding restaurants, as well as our live music and energetic culture. Our business owners work tirelessly day in and day out to create an atmosphere that is safe, welcoming, and memorable. Our restaurant and bar owners relentlessly waded through the challenges brought on by the pandemic, then faced the huge loss of remote state workers mandated to remain at home. Now, today, finally, coming out on the other side of all these financial hardships, the same proprietors, the lifeline of our city, have been forced to endure the nuisance of teenage kids making a spectacle of themselves and causing chaos outside of downtown businesses. This has got to stop. Parents, control your kids. Be responsible. Unfortunately, in recent weeks, a number of unsupervised teenagers, underage individuals, have threatened the safety of the downtown environment. They have been heckling patrons, unlawfully drinking alcohol, getting into fights, shouting foul and belligerent language, and have fallen over and passed out under the influence of substances in front of residents and establishments. In the past, we have gently, then sternly asked parents to take responsibility, to know where their children are in the evening, and to have family conversations regarding what is acceptable and unacceptable behavior in public. What our downtown patrons are currently experiencing is not acceptable behavior, nor is it legal. Our curfew laws, exist for a reason. And beginning this weekend, we will strictly enforce them. And let me say that again to your parents so you understand and you hear it. We will strictly enforce them. Parents, I urge you to take this seriously. If your child is downtown, more specifically, if your child is downtown after 11 p.m., without you, there will be consequences, including hefty fines. I stand in full support of our police department and our business community as they take steps to ensure our downtown remains a place where people want to be, a place where people want to gather to enjoy all this great city has to offer. At this time, I will now turn it over to Police Commissioner Carter, who will outline the measures we are putting in place.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Madam Mayor. And I want to thank all the business people from the Downtown Business District for being here today. We had met with them several weeks back, and they explained their challenges to us and what was going on in the downtown area. As you can recall, Harrisburg Police has always worked a detail downtown. Working at their detail costs this city a whole lot of money. Money that could be spent doing other things, because we are concerned about the downtown businesses, but we are concerned about every business, every household, every resident within the city of Harrisburg. We understand, that we take on an awful lot, but as of recent, we've been noticing that there's been a lot of juveniles downtown since the summer has started. They have been drinking alcohol out of cars, smoking weed, passing out. We done taken guns off of juveniles, off of gang members down here. And the main concern that we have is that we are concerned that every kid goes home safely. We are really concerned about that. There is no reason for a juvenile to be downtown with a handgun, a loaded handgun. We have towed cars and got guns out of cars and everything else. There is no reason to have behavior like that coming from our youth. And I'm not saying that we have bad youth here. I'm just saying, that sometimes they got to be smarter and they got to think. And parents should be concerned where their kids at. 18 is the legal age where you can be outside during the summertime after 2,300 hours, 11 p.m. If you're under the age of 18, you should not be on a city street at that time. You should be in front of your house, in the backyard, or with your parents or with an older family member. So anybody under that age of 18 that we catch downtown, and we have already started this year. Our detail has started 5 weeks back. We have cited many juveniles for curfew. Now, I don't want to put a hardship on a parent, but if the behavior keeps up, we're going to have to start citing parents too. We're going to have to start doing that because we're going to do it for the concern of your child, for the safety of your child. But these business people have the right to prosper, to have businesses that are thriving without young people interrupting what they are doing. We are concerned about the safety for each and everybody that comes in the city for whatever reason. Restaurant Row has always been a great area for people to come visit, eat with their families, go on tours of the capital and everything else. We want to keep it that way. Harrisburg is a capital city, and we should treat it as such. At this time, I'm going to let Captain Martin explain to you what we have been doing downtown and what will continue to take place. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Captain Akapo Martin. I'm the captain of the Uniform Patrol Division, and I've put on this detail for the past 5 weeks. As a department, we have used several resources to combat some of the issues that we heard from the business owners, as well as some of the complaints from people that are visiting the downtown area. So the resources that we have put out for the downtown detail have been above and beyond what we do for normal calls of service that we handle in the streets. So some of you should have gotten some of the stats out there. If you didn't, you can get a copy of it at the end. But it just highlights what we've done over the past 5 weeks. As you can see there, we've dedicated 82 additional officers, and that's working alongside of partner agencies such as the Adult Probation and Parole, as well as Capitol Police has lent 8 officers to help out. Liquor Control Enforcement has also sent officers, as well as Dauphin County Violent Gang Unit as well. Those officers have supplemented Harrisburg police officers while we've worked on the problem necessitating the issues downtown. As you can see with that sheet, several contacts have been made with those officers out on the street during that nighttime hour. Over 350 contacts have been made. We made 31 arrests during that period, as well as 13 drug arrests, 9 firearms were recovered, and 17 juveniles have been arrested or cited for curfew. One of the things that we're addressing here with the juvenile issue is it seems to always revolve around that summertime period before school, where we started to have Capona come up, and in recent years you've noticed that there's been a large issue with the juveniles, causing a disturbance not only with downtown but other large gatherings here in the city. So trying to take a combative measure in addressing those issues, and as the commissioner had pointed out, parents, be responsible for your kids. There's several individuals out there that are doing nothing wrong and having a good time, but there's also a large population that come out there to cause a disturbance. And that does affect the business, that affects the visitors that come down to Harrisburg, and that affects everyone else, including the resources that the Bureau has to utilize towards a specific area in the city that takes away from the rest of the city. So it's an ongoing process. We'll continue to work alongside of the business owners and other agencies that have a vested interest in Harrisburg. We'll make sure that we continue to put the pressure on the juveniles as well as the parents, as the commissioner had stated. ultimately to make a better place for people to come and visit. Thank you.
And now we'll give the business owners an opportunity to speak.
Angelo Carriana Zembis, 226 2nd Street. I've been downtown for 31 years. It's been a great experience. Years ago, we lost some friends like Donnie Brown from the Firehouse that gave up on the city because you guys refer to it as a city in crisis. Been through that. And then we had a little problem with what they call the let out. People would come down here after 11, 12. But it grew worse when these juveniles were coming down earlier in the evening, and we would see them purchasing alcohol from vehicles in the trunks and side streets. So we brought it to the mayor's attention, and I think she responded very well. We saw streets are being cleared out, problems have diminished, and I applaud her for her quick efforts immediately, and I hope this continues on. And I think we can resolve this and no longer be a city with a problem, because thanks to her. Thank you.
George.
Nelson Fernandez, owner of Karma Entertainment Complex on North 3rd Street. Nelson Mina Fernandez, owner of Karma Entertainment Complex on North 3rd Street. Number one, thank you so much, Mayor Wanda Williams, and to the local police department for listening to our concerns and be more than willing to help us out with challenges that we're currently facing. I just want to say that local business currently are very challenged with this current circumstances. And we want to effectively communicate to our community how important it is, not only for us as business owners to thrive, but also to continue to offer not only a safe, but welcoming and attractive area for all of you to enjoy. So I would like to talk to all the parents and ask them to please take this into consideration seriously, because God knows that everything has a place and a behavior, and we would like the teenagers and underage peoples and gang members not only to be reinforced by the police, but to work together as families and a community to keep downtown Harrisburg, just like I said, safe and beautiful, so that we can all thrive. Thank you.
Now we'll open it up for questions for Captain and Commissioner.
So this issue that you guys are talking about, I think it's been going on for years. I don't think it's nothing new. What was the tipping point that made you say we have to change something here?
I can answer that.
You want to answer?
The tipping point was to get a video of a young man selling liquor to our underage kids on our city streets, and as well as 300 juveniles fighting at 1 o'clock in the morning on our city streets, as well as juveniles laying on the ground and they're drunk. And we, as the city of Harrisburg, do not have the time to pick up all the juveniles who are 13 and 14 years old, should not be down in the Harrisburg downtown area. The reason being is that they said they were accompanied by an 18-year-old brother or sister. We will no longer tolerate that. I don't care if you're 18 and you have a young sibling with you, we will cite them as well. We do not have the resources or the time to pick up juveniles off our city sidewalks who are intoxicated. That is not acceptable. And another reason is that the business owners have contacted me because not only are they downtown drinking, they're standing on cars, they're hitting cars, they're playing the chicken game where they're running back and forth into the 2nd Street corridor and trying to get hit. So we had enough. Anything else?
I guess the other thing, when you're talking about trying to, listen, you've got kids who are going to be out on the street.
Okay.
It's going to be dozens of kids. Do you feel that you have enough officers? Because I noticed the numbers on here, maybe this is a question for the commissioner, but the numbers have varied from week to week. One week you made a lot of police contacts, and you had 30 officers out there. There were only 11 maybe the week prior, or it really varies. Is there going to be some consistency from that?
Yes, starting today, we will have that. We will have a number of police officers out on the street.
How many?
We don't know approximately, but we'll have enough. Even if we have to utilize the other services of other agencies, we will have them out on the street.
You said you want to start citing parents. When would that happen? You said this is already a problem and you want consequences to be there. You're imploring parents to do something about this. Now there's a consequence. But you mentioned you will start. When will that begin?
Immediately tonight. Tonight.
Just tonight?
Tonight.
Parents will be getting citations.
Yes, they will. If their child is under 18 and they're out on the city streets, downtown area.
What does that citation look like? What's the consequence?
We haven't decided what the fee would be. The district justice will determine that.
And they're on board with this?
They will have to be. We are demanding that they do. We are tired of the young people coming down here being disruptive. We will not tolerate that anymore.
These kids have been cited in many cases. I think you got 17. But it seems like there's a lot more than 17 downtown. Are you going to really, is that number going to suddenly balloon after today?
You want to answer that, Captain?
Yeah, we have cited 17 juveniles so far, but you must understand that when we stop a juvenile, detain that juvenile, question that the juvenile to find out the juvenile's age, there's a process. It's a long process. It takes police officers off the street until we can contact a concerned adult, a parent, or what have you, and sometimes that takes hours. We cannot just let that juvenile go. You know, we have to call a patrol vehicle sometimes to take that juvenile home. And so, you know, there's a whole process. It takes away from what our mission is when we do come across juveniles. And you are correct, there's tons of juveniles down there, but it's just like a car running through a red light. There could be multiple cars, but you can only catch one at a time. So that's why, you know, the numbers, they are so low, you know. And to answer your other question that you put forth, you know, during the let out has always been going on, but it's changed. In the past, people were just standing around downtown, just talking, having a good time. And when we said leave, you know, they would leave, you know, they would take their time, but they would slowly but surely foul out. These kids nowadays, they want to confront the business owners. They want to break their windows. They want to curse at them. They want to threaten them. It's just totally different now. We cannot tolerate that, you know. And it's not that the Harrisburg police were not targeting juveniles. I am concerned for the safety of the juveniles because I think that, excuse me, the captain said that we have taken nine guns off of juveniles. These are untrained people carrying handguns in a crowd of people where alcohol is there and there's people smoking stuff that they shouldn't be smoking. Anything can happen. Anybody's kid can get injured. Any adult can get injured. We cannot tolerate that. We cannot have that. So we have to do something, and we are doing it.
So, the numbers show that there's an intentional effort from the last 5 weeks, right? But there was a detail months ago that was pulled back. Could you explain maybe from there, these numbers have now kind of shown why the necessity is needed now?
So I need something else from you. You're saying that a detail, it was pulled back?
Right. There was an understanding that there were officers placed in the downtown area, but they were pulled away from privatized security, I believe. Is that the new enforcement now coming in without that in mind?
Each restaurant has their own people, correct? A security officer there. You know, anything that happens within the bar is a bar owner's problem, responsibility. I don't mean to say problem. Responsibility. Anything that happens on the street or the sidewalk leading into the street is responsibility of my officers. Yes, you know, there was a police detail down there, and, you know, I gave the order to like pull them back because officers get burnt out. And as you hinted on, you know, we are short. I am short. I hate saying that there, but I'm short of officers right now, and officers get burnt out quick. Officers have families, you know, so we have to give them rest. So that's why.
Yeah, Commissioner, are you concerned on that point about having enough personnel? I'm assuming these people are working overtime. And I know the force already does not have quite as many police officers as you'd like.
You know, I am mighty thankful for a couple agencies probation, juvenile, adult, PSP. We done team with the feds and everybody else, LCE, in the sheriff's office, Capitol PD. So, we all sort of mix in and help out, so, we do have help.
How many of these citations have actually gone to court and been paid, and have any been dismissed?
After the citation is filled out, it goes to our office and they mail them out. Juvenile citations go to the DJ's office, from the DJ's office to the county, juvenile people. Since the citations are, since the citations are fairly new, none of them that I know of, we have not had hearings at the DJ's office yet for them.
I'm a resident of the city.
Yes, sir.
In Midtown. I think that these are all really good things, but there's also the perception that is part of the problem. And I'm curious what you think you need to do to erase the perception that Harrisburg is unsafe. I'll give you an example. I drive down to work on Front Street every day, and there's a sign on the corner of Forster in front that says, no panhandling, no soliciting. And there's at least 4 or 5 people on those corners every day. And hundreds of cars drive down that street. That's something, if that stopped, would improve the perception. And I think that that's got to be part of this plan too. Do you agree?
I do. We are looking at the homeless, addressing the homeless, the panhandlers, and perception is everything. It's reality for some people. But however, as I just stated, my agency is only but so big. And so we can only do but so much. I'm not making an excuse, okay? I'm not doing that there, because if the agency is failing, that means that I'm failing, okay? So, and I take responsibility and blame for everything that goes on within the city here, okay? We are working with the homeless because of panhandlers. They're basically homeless people, and as you know, there are certain laws that want to protect the homeless people. Now, I can't tell you how I feel, but, that's a whole nother conversation that we need to have in private one day. Sure. But yes, we are working on that. They're not only on Front Street, they're on 2nd Street down here, they're by the farm show, they are all over the place. And it is a problem.
Sure. Commissioner.
Yes.
On the topic of the homeless, the encampment that's supposedly going to be moved or relocated, we talked to some residents down there that say they're not moving. Is the city doing anything to help them get out of that area due to the PennDOT construction that's going to happen soon?
I think that the mayor should answer that question because I haven't been in those meetings.
Miracle for sure should be helping those individuals relocate to another destination. The city of Harrisburg is no longer affiliated with that. The Dauphin County has taken over that and given that responsibility to Miracle for sure.
But I think the question is about the encampment by PennDOT, which I believe is...
That's the encampment we're talking about.
Right, it's in the city, so the city state property.
That is state property.
State property?
Yes.
Because I've been told it's private property.
That is state property.
If it's not state property, then the city be the ones clearing that out.
No, Miracle for sure is now responsible for the unhoused in that location. We were responsible for all the trash, but that's all. We are no longer going to assist in removing those individuals from that destination. We've done that 5 times. Any other questions?
Would these citations be fought by parents, given that the civil law enforcement board is coming up, and those meetings are meant to start soon? Would that be something that could be possibly fought by folks in a civil matter?
Of course, we have 15,000 of them right now out there, and they're fighting. Each and every last one of them are fighting, not just for juveniles, but anytime we give a citation.
Or would the law enforcement advisory board tackle that?
We are going to do everything we can from our law office to fight those citations.
What's the amount that you think would influence parents to step up and keep their kids off the street?
I think any amount would. Although I don't want to do that, there's no recourse at this point. Any other questions? One more, and that's it. Okay, thank you.